So today we're going over 5 very specific exercises related to spinal stenosis to improve pain. When you have spinal stenosis, you have a space issue in your back, and that space issue is either causing back pain and or leg pain. You can either have just leg pain or just back pain, but you typically experience pain when you're standing up tall, when you're arching backwards, or you're trying to walk for long periods of time, and all of those things can heavily impact your day. And today we're going to go over 5 of my favorite exercises to improve discomfort related to spinal stenosis. Now, as a physical therapist, the devil's in the details, right? So we're going to spend time going over the nuances, the exact instructions that I give my patients to improve pain but not make their spinal stenosis worse. And that's a huge caveat in that we don't want to cause nerve damage, but we want to improve pain and improve function at the same time. And these exercises can do that for you, but you have to listen to the instructions and you have to learn your body. And I'm going to give you those nuances as we go through the video. And so the exact things that I tell my patients are going to help you as well. So spinal stenosis can improve, but it does take a little bit of time and effort to do so. Speaking of that, time and effort comes with doing these exercises 2 to 3 times a week for 2 to 3 sets at a time. And so I'm going to put more details in the description of the video, but just know it's going to take a little bit of time to help calm down that nerve pain and improve your back mobility at the same time. So before I waste any more time, we're going to go over these 5 exercises, have some fun along the way, but learn exactly what we need to do to improve your body. So if you truly have spinal stenosis, that means you have a space issue, right? You're running out of space in the lumbar spine or the lower back. You're having pain because when you stand up tall or you arch backwards, you're closing down around the nerve. And when you sit down or flex forward, you're improving the space around the nerve. And that's exactly what we're going to use or do with these exercises. We're going to improve space and function at the same time. So give you some more space and give you the ability to do more and feel less discomfort. So speaking of that, we're going to utilize flexion, moving forward or arching forward throughout a lot of these exercises because it's very helpful, but we're going to improve pain and function along the way. So the very first exercise here is called a seated lumbar flexion, and it's truly that, in that you're going to sit and then you're going to flex forward. And what I'm thinking about doing is rounding my neck, rounding my upper back, and leaning forward until I feel a good stretch in my back. What I typically tell my clients is that you're going to do a 1 to 2 second hold and then come back up. You should never come back up far enough to cause yourself back pain or leg pain, but you should just come up to a seated position and then come right back down. So a classic sign of spinal stenosis is that when you sit, you have absolutely no discomfort at all. And so you want to improve the space in your back in a position that's really comfortable for you. So I typically have my clients do 15 of these, 1 to 2 second hold of just simply coming forward. Now, let's say that you typically have right-sided leg pain. If that's the case, you're more than welcome to go forward here, but then we're also going to lean in one direction. So you may like going to the left a little bit to open up that right side even more, or you may even like going right. All I'm saying is that you have some forgiveness to play around with that range of motion and figure out exactly what you like. I know it's simple, and I know it's probably not the most fun exercise to watch here, but it's very effective. Make sure those legs are spread out. Make sure you round out your back. And what that's doing is that's not only stretching your hips, but it's help improving the space in your lower back. It's flexing things forward and opening things up for you. And 99.9% of the time when I do this with my patients who have true spinal stenosis, they have pain relief. So the key with spinal stenosis and improving your ability to walk and stand is not only looking at the back, but looking at the hips as well. So after we do that seated lumbar flexion and moving forward, we worked on the lower back, and now this next exercise, we're going to work on the hips to help improve your ability to walk and stand. So with spinal stenosis, walking is a big deal. It's very difficult to walk because when you stand, you're closing down on your back. So if I'm standing up tall like this model here, I am reducing the space in my lower back. And remember, I said spinal stenosis by its definition is a space issue. And so if you have a space issue and you're trying to walk, it can be very uncomfortable. But with that said, our ability to walk is very important, and we need to improve that and work on that. And since we just worked on the lower back, we're gonna use our hips to get there. Because when we walk, and let's say I'm walking and one leg's behind me, this motion in my hips to help get me tall and get that leg behind me comes from our lower back and our hips. And so we're going to improve hip mobility at the same time. Now, I could have you do that getting on the ground, but oftentimes it's very uncomfortable to get on the ground if you have spinal stenosis. So we're going to utilize a chair, just like what we did with our last exercise. And so after my patients kind of flex forward, we're going to stand up and improve hip mobility and extension of the hips. And so I'm going to show you as an example on this leg here. You're going to use that chair and use the back of it for balance. It's not a balance exercise. Don't worry about that right now. So you're going to try to stand up tall. Let's say, for example, that when you're here, you're fine, but when you're here, you feel back stuff and hip stuff. So don't have that. Have a little bit of flexion right there, a little nuancy flexion. Remember, I told you, devil's in the details, so you don't want to have pain. People, when they have pain with this exercise, they avoid it, but it's actually very effective for them. So I don't want that to be you. So we're going to stand up tall. We're going to avoid any back and leg pain, and then we're going to subtly shift forward so we feel a little stretch in the front here, and then come back. Shift forward and come back. I would say it's about 50-50 split here of weight in my right leg and weight in my left leg, and I'm utilizing my hand here for balance. I'm going to shift forward and come back. Like the last exercise, 1 to 2 second hold and come back. 1 to 2 second hold and come back. These exercises are very good at improving pain in your lower back and leg, but the devil's in the details. You have to pay attention to your body here. Spinal stenosis is so interesting in that you can feel really good with one thing and really bad with another. And so we don't want that. So you're going to gently come forward, feel that hip open up and come back. Gently come forward, feel the hip open up and come back. No back pain, no leg pain throughout. Now, other question I often get is, do you do this on both sides even if you just have leg pain? Absolutely. Or one-sided leg pain? Absolutely. I typically tell my clients to do about 15 reps, 1 to 2 second hold, open up the front of the hip and come back out of it. This is what we do to help improve sciatica to prevent surgery. But if you've had surgery, any type of surgery, this is very good too, because it just translates very well to gait and your ability to walk. And so after I do my 15 or 20 reps, I'm going to switch sides, get tall with my body until I have symptoms, and then slightly back off and then shift my weight forward. Good, a 50-50 split with my legs here, utilizing something for balance. And it's just a key exercise to improve discomfort. So you're not closing down on the space on your back, but you're improving how your hips move, and that directly improves your ability to walk or improves your gait mechanics. It is a very good exercise. Now, it is using our legs a little bit, so you may notice a little burning in your legs because of the exercise, but that just is what it is. So we've reviewed lumbar flexion seated. We've reviewed loosening our hips up standing. And now we're going to review one of my favorite strengthening exercises for spinal stenosis to not only improve pain, but improve strength at the exact same time. Okay, so before you walk away and then go over this exercise here, I want you to know that this is a flexion-based exercise and it will improve strength and pain at the same time. But I need you to have an open mind as we go through this. And this next exercise is the squat. Yes, a traditional squat. You may think that that's hard for you, or you're not capable of it because you have spinal stenosis, or doing some squats in the past have really hurt. But I'm gonna give you some nuances for you to be successful. And that first nuance comes from having something like this. And so this is a wedge board. It is it's a foam piece, and it's at an incline here. And this is gonna be key because it's gonna significantly improve your range of motion and reduce your discomfort at the same time. So strengthening is important, but how you do it is equally important. And so we're going to use this incline board throughout the exercise. I'll put a link in the description of one that I like to use, but anywho, you can also use a 2x4 or a yoga mat, or a yoga mat that you would fold up, and that you could use that. But you just need to find something where you could elevate your heels, and I'm gonna go over exactly what that's gonna look like. So we're gonna use this board to improve our strength and reduce pain for this next exercise. Okay, so I've zoomed up on my feet here, and you can see the incline board. I'm gonna have my heels on the incline board, and if this were a yoga mat, my heels would just be on the rolled mat. And so they're gonna be high enough and that they're gonna give you a significant advantage with the squat and be successful with it. So pretend the chair's still in front of you. I'm gonna hold on to this, and I'm going to do a little squat and come back up. Now, as I come up, I'm tightening my core, and I'm going down as far as I feel comfortable. And over time, you're gonna be able to get deeper and deeper into the range to get into that strengthening and flexion of your spine. You see this? See this little tuck right here? That's flexion of the back. I'm not standing up tall all the way, because that's extension. So I'm gonna work here into flexion, utilize whatever's in front of me for balance, and eventually get it so I don't have to use anything to help me. And I'm gonna utilize this squat to not only strengthen, but to improve discomfort. Now, if you wanted to try on your own, you could do it without the incline. Do it without the incline and just feel the difference in the movement. The movement's not as clean and it really makes a difference. And so I didn't always use this, but when I started using it, it felt really, really good. And so we're gonna utilize this incline board and we're gonna utilize that to our advantage. So we're gonna do 2 sets of 12 squat, heels, and then on the elevated board here. And so those are some of the caveats that make a huge difference when you're going through and strengthening your lumbar spine. Now, eventually, you will be able to get into deeper range of motion and feel better into the back, but 2 to 3 sets of 12 is really, really effective. And the big thing that I tell my clients is that as you're doing the squat, don't go up all the way because you don't need to get that full extension yet. Just work into flexion and do that deep squat. We're gonna utilize that board or the yoga mat for our next exercise, so don't put it away. We're gonna keep having fun with it. So you should notice that your legs have a little bit of burn in them after that exercise. There's nothing wrong with improving your strength and feeling stronger. I've never had a patient tell me that, hey Michael, I am worse off because I'm stronger. That just doesn't exist. Now with spinal stenosis, we're reducing pain and improving function at the same time. So after the squat exercise, we're gonna work into this exercise, which is still using the incline board, but we're gonna turn around orientation a little bit, and that my toes are gonna be on it now instead of my heels, or more of the ball of my foot. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into the position, I'm gonna put the ball of my foot on the incline board, both of them actually. I'm gonna try to straighten my legs, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to bend over until I feel a good amount of tension in my calves, and then come back up. Now, oftentimes what I see with spinal stenosis is that your first couple reps may be really limited, but then as you go, not only does your back range of motion and your leg range of motion improve, but maybe you start having a little bit less nerve pain. Wouldn't that be nice, right? And then we're gonna go through, remember that deep flexion helps improve the space in our lower back, the flexion of the lumbar spine, which relieves the pressure around the nerve. Now you notice again with this one, 1 to 2 second hold down here, come back up. I don't have to come all the way back up, guys. I can if I want to stand all the way tall. Doesn't matter to me. You're gonna go down and then back up and then down and back up. And so you will notice, just like what happened here, is that my range of motion really improved. If you focus of having the ball of your feet on there, really straightening your legs, not only are you improving the space in your lower back, but you're improving the environment in which the nerve lives. Trust me, it is very effective. So we did a little bit of loosening the lower back, loosening of the hips, strengthening, did a little bit more loosening to remove discomfort. And now for this last one, by far the most effective, my favorite exercise that I've ever done. And this will not only improve the strength, but reduce pain at the same time and your ability to walk. It is a home run. But why I save it for the end is because we use these other techniques to help reduce discomfort, get your body ready to work hard, get it warmed up, and then we're gonna strengthen it. And so we're gonna head into my next exercise, which is a modified lunge. You're gonna bring back that chair because we're gonna need it, but trust me, this one is a game changer. Let's go over the specific details so you're successful with it. Okay, so we're gonna be using our trusty chair again to help not only remove discomfort and improve it, but we're going to improve the strength in your legs at the same time. I've had plenty of patients tell me, no way, Michael, I can't do this. This is not in the cards for me right now. This is gonna be way too hard. I'm not even gonna try. Don't be that person. I have seen people be successful with just 1 rep. I've seen people do really well and work their way all the way up to do 12 or 15 reps. And when they get there, not only is their walking ability better, but they feel stronger and get better. And they can get on and off the floor easier. Isn't that a good skill to have? We need to have that ability. So let's improve it. So you're going to slide off the chair a little bit and you're gonna get in a lunge position. Now, if it hurts your knee, like just use a pillow underneath your knee, or another little thing you could use is yoga block, or use a yoga block, okay? You're gonna be in a lunge position. You're gonna brace yourself like crazy with the other hand. And so that other hand's gonna be on the chair. Put some pressure into it to test it to make sure it's stable enough for you. Now you're going to put a lot of pressure in there, and then you're gonna try to lift, curl that toe underneath, and then press up and utilize this glute and leg to get yourself up. But you notice how I'm not here and doing it. I'm flexed forward. The trend of flexion still holds with this. So I'm gonna flex forward a little bit, pull my chest towards my knee, and drive myself up and down. And in this position here, I am feeling a lot of glute activation and a lot of muscle length in my back leg and my hip, and it really just opens everything up for me. So again, 12 to 15 reps in that lunge position, and you're gonna love it. And love it, I mean hate it, because it's gonna cause a lot of burning in your legs, but not nerve burning, muscle work. We need to get that muscle. So no pain, but improved strength at the same time, that's a win-win. I mean, you've gotta know that that is useful for you. And utilizing these exercises, I've seen people not only get better, but prevent surgery and prevent injections, and that's key, right? We want to utilize those things when we need them, but if we don't need them, we don't wanna use them. So if you wanna use the other leg, you're just gonna switch legs, still brace yourself, and then you're going to come up, up and down, and utilize that strength in your legs to give yourself not only pain relief, but to improve hip and leg strength at the same time. I have had people do this of all ages, of all walks in life, who have spinal stenosis, and they improve every single time. And so with these exercises today, not only did you notice that we improved nerve health, reduced discomfort, improved range of motion in the back, but we gave you some strength along the way, and that's a win-win. That's gonna give you that edge, that ability to feel like, hey, I'm actually getting better. Remember, 3 to 4 weeks, doing these exercises 2 to 3 times a week, doing 2 to 3 sets of 10, 15, 12, whatever you feel like you can do, and work your way up there. This lunge exercise is by far going to be the hardest, but if you can do it, it's gonna give you a lot of bang for your buck. And so these exercises I've seen improve so many people. I couldn't not tell you about them. So I could have picked easier exercises for you, but that would have been doing you harm. Like, that's not doing you any good. I wanna push your boundaries, but no, throughout all the exercises, you're not having any leg pain, any back pain, you're not doing any damage, and you know that it's safe for you. And so if you can get those takeaways from today's video, that would just make me happy and know that I'm doing the right thing for you guys. And so I appreciate you taking the time to watch. Leave any comments that you have underneath the description, but just stay after it, keep moving, and take care of yourself.